Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. So, I am just incredibly overwhelmed with all the downloads that I have because I haven't essentially, like, usually I'll do content and I'll just kind of stash them over the days. So, you might not see me post for a couple of days because I have to do the administrative part, which is uploading it and then, posting it and stuff. But I haven't even channeled or recorded anything in at least 2 days. The last 3 days have been a blur. Super, super busy, but I moved. Okay, Thor's okay. She still has the ear problem because she ripped the bed. It was a whole thing with Thor. She wasn't having it, but she's fine. And yeah, thank you guys for your patience again. But I'm overwhelmed with downloads. Like I don't know where to begin. I feel like that within itself is a channeled message to you guys that are either resonating with you yourself, don't know. Some of you guys just said, I literally just said that yesterday or last week. I don't know where to begin. You identified to that saying because you said it to somebody, or you were thinking that when you were considering maybe communicating to someone something. It could have been a truth, it could have been a plan, it could have been somebody could have asked you how you're doing. They haven't seen you in a while, you don't know where to begin, or what happened, because something might have happened to you guys, or something played out for you guys in the 3D, and somebody's asking you, what happened, and you're like, where do I begin? Or somebody feels this way about you. So for some of you, you're wondering, like, somebody could be very overwhelmed with the amount of information they either have to relay, or you could have received a huge download of information, and then somebody's like, what do you think? And you're like, I don't even know where to begin. So it's an overwhelming feeling mentally, which is how I'm feeling coming into this reading because I have all these downloads. So first thing that I'm recalling right now is about this. I have a feed. So essentially I have a text message. When you look in your text message list, I have Destiny. Like, I have me in there. And I text myself. I text myself downloads that I get, that I do videos for so I don't forget. I'll channel questions to myself that I'll later answer at a later date. So I highly, and then the divine asked me to share that with you guys, and it wasn't like I was afraid to do it. I just didn't think twice about it. But I think some of you guys would really benefit from having your own, because the journal's good, but you're not gonna walk around with a journal. And some of you guys, your lifestyles might not permit that end of daytime where you get to really sit down, or first thing in the morning where you get to write in that journal with a coffee or a tea. Like, so I suggest texting yourself. And then when you say, for example, text yourself a question, meaning you're in your mind and you have a thought and you're not really sure about it. Make yourself consciously aware about something that you have a question. It's like you have a question for yourself that you're not prepared to answer right now, and you have to surrender to that. That's cool. But let your imagination, it's like that inner child energy that asks you a million questions. You know what I mean? It's like, identify how you communicate with yourself, your internal dialogue. Okay. And then what's cool is when you realize that you asked yourself something that you ended up becoming more consciously aware of after. So that question, which a lot of us look at as ignorance, is actually a form of intelligence. These questions you ask yourself, and then your ability to be able to answer them later, and then see this correspondence, right? So anyways, there's that. Where else? What else? So then I was also channeling about, like, the divine is trying to, like, because they keep showing me the yin and the yang, and then they'll bring me to different places in the yin and the yang. So almost like, imagine a camera looking at the yin and the yang. That's how it started. The whole yin and the yang, the whole yin and yang symbol was in focus. Then the divine zoomed into different parts of the yin and yang symbol to get me to start thinking. Now the divine is bringing me to that line in between. So I first started channeling that thin line between good, evil, love, and hate. Now the divine's asking me to get to understand the relationship between the two. Evil and angelic energy, like evil demons and angel energy, don't function the way it does here on earth. They haven't both have an understanding that we are only coming to conscious awareness about. So it's a fight, but it's not. Sorry, it's not a fight. It's the way it's interpreted here and how it might feel. But it's not actually a fight. It's an ebb and a flow, and it's a balance. It's a cause and effect. So it was almost like the divine was trying to show me how. So for example, evil energy, right? Dark energy. If you look at the dark part of the yin and the yang and then that white dot in between, that's how darkness will use good to manipulate, to bring in. So think of the Pied Piper with the candy and the fucking horn. You know, that was using that light, that enjoyment energy, right? That kindness, that fun energy to bring people into the opposite. Darkness, death, molestation, all kinds of horrible shit. God knows what the Pied Piper was doing. Okay? Anyways, but the angelic energy will do that too. So this leads into another download. So that first part of the download was getting Destiny, understand, collective, understand the relationship and how they actually work together. So it was almost like the divine was trying to get me out of this narrative that it's a fight and some like, you know, dramatic battle, you know, for like a major box office film. Like it's not like that. It's an agreement. It is an ebb and a flow. It is a balance. It's karma, essentially. So, and so that now goes into this download of, what did I get? What was it? I text to myself, the divine, let me just see. What was it? The divine use your enemies to protect you. Okay, so this was the divine showing me last night how the divine will use dark energy, like your enemies, to help and support and protect you. Then I got some weird example. So I don't personally resonate with it, at least not consciously. Like I don't know how it applies to me, but it was specific enough to share. So for some of you, it probably does apply to me. I'm just not consciously aware. But for some of you, the divine energy knew that your enemies would say certain things about you that would deter people away from you. Think of shit talking. These could be people that you thought you lost friends, you thought you lost a romantic partner, you thought you lost some kind of support. The divine's going, no. We used your enemies, dark energy within the light, to get people that we did not want around you away from you. Okay? So some of you, this could even translate as an experience about this could have been some like traumatic experience you had about like a social group. And one person in that social group went and told lies to the rest of the people in that social group about you that got them to turn on you or banish you. It was because they were going to turn on you anyways, and the divine didn't want them any closer to you than you already allowed them to be. I.e., rejection is your protection. Some of you guys think it was devil energy that did it, and it wasn't. It was divine energy. They used your enemies. They superseded them and just said, yeah, go ahead. Don't go talk shit. Go talk shit to the same people that we don't even want around them anyways. All of you motherfuckers can get away from them. Thank you. Collective, you are highly protected, but some of you guys are still processing it as rejection and not protection, as being like you're not seeing it from the divine perspective. You're seeing it as if that darkness is, do you get what I'm saying? It's light. That darkness is surrounded by light, is being utilized by light. And like I said, the opposite of that, like I watch, so for example, okay? And I'm going to share this because it's not that this is a heavy period of karma. It's because collective, our conscious awareness surrounding karma is at an all-time high, which is amazing. This is what we worked for. This is our royalty. This is where we build a higher level bond with planets. They're balls of energy just like we are, just massive. The divine, like God, to sum it up. So Shit, now, what was I saying? What was I gonna say before I went on that long rant? I hear you guys trying to tell me, but I can't hear you. Shit. Yeah, so I was watching this episode of Evil Lives Here. And it's one of my favorite. I like murder documentaries and stuff like that. Who doesn't? But I only like certain ones. And what I like is with Evil Lives Here is that it really breaks down the psychology by asking the people closest to these people about their upbringing, about what the relationship was like with them, the signs that led up to these heinous crimes that people in the general public don't see. So that's why I like the show. Anyways, there was an episode that I watched, and essentially it was this guy whose father and his ex-girlfriend ended up killing his current girlfriend. Okay, it was really fucked up. And it was the son recanting his life with his dad, signs, and essentially the story. And it was in the news, it was really big, and essentially, long and short, it comes to the end of the video now, and the guy goes, I'm a really strong believer in karma, eh? Because his dad ends up... So it was really fucked up. So his dad got off on reasonable doubt. So essentially, he was acquitted of the charges. And then they found the evidence after that it was him. But they couldn't recharge him for a crime that he had already been acquitted for. So then they gave him, I think, like 7 to 10 years for perjury or some shit. Or purgatory or some shit like that. I forget the word. And then he gets out. And he has to stay with his son, the guy who's recanting the story. And he goes, I was very hesitant. I never talked to him the whole time he was in prison. Because he manipulated the son. Like, the son really was like, it couldn't have been my dad. It has to be the evil girlfriend or whatever. And it was her too, but it was the dad too. He was trying to act like he was fully innocent. And he comes out of prison, stays with his son. His son decides to let him stay. And within maybe, I don't know, a couple of weeks, the kid comes home. He's not a kid at this point. He's a man now. And he comes home. He's a young adult. He comes home, and the dad, I guess, had a walker. The walker was a little bent on the floor, and the glass coffee table was shattered, and there was blood everywhere, but his dad wasn't there. So he follows the trail into the room, and there's the dad hunched over on the wall dead. Okay? And he goes, I'm a very strong believer in karma. He goes, in the case, they had strapped the woman, Brenda, that they murdered, to a glass coffee table. And essentially, it was the glass coffee table that killed him. He tripped on his fucking walker, slammed through the fucking coffee table, and got a really big cut on his arm. He could have called the police. He didn't. He was ready to die. There was nothing for him. Nobody cares about him. His son's burdened by him, and his 2 steps short of telling him to get the fuck out of his house. Like, it wasn't good for him. But the way the universe worked, I was just like, that kind of karma, if you weren't a believer before, you would be a believer going through something like that, or seeing that and connecting those dots. So, and I feel like the reason why I'm sharing this story and as in detail as I am is because some of you guys have been through some extreme darkness and you are questioning karma. It's because you need to surrender time. It's either you need to surrender time or the resentment. Probably both. And I say that because of what I understand about energy and how we can create delays and things like that. But really and truly, when Mother Karma decides to come in and bring justice to something, it's true law. Mother Karma is true law. Then that's just when it's going to happen. And I surrender dates, times, none of that stuff is in my jurisdiction. And I can't speak for the other high priests and high priestesses, but me and my relationship with the divine, they told me that was their tool. They are privy to it and that I need not worry about it. There's certain things here on earth that divine, demonic energy, they can't do, they can't access. That's why we co-create with the divine. We do our part, they do theirs. Things like time and shit is not ours. So some of you guys really need to surrender time, but you're really questioning if what karma is and if there is true justice. Everything balances out eventually. And there's very important reasons why things happen. We think they're random because of our limited scope, understanding of the universe and how it functions and affects us. We're just talking about astrology and the full moons, and like we're barely scratching the fucking surface of what true union with the ecosystem means. How the universe around us really truly affects us, and how we can connect and communicate and what we can do with that. So there's depths is all I'm saying, collective, when it comes to these gifts and this connection and this awareness. And anyways, I could go on rambling, but I think 16 minutes in, you get some of these downloads here. I have more, but the divine's telling me to pray and let's have some fun and pull some cards. Have some fun. Some of you guys, it's been really serious, or you, like me, have been really busy. Maybe there is a need to have a little bit of fun, lighten up. Some of you guys, I feel, are really uptight, and I think it's because you might be trying to project it externally to somebody, or something's making me, or it's work. It's really, there's something internally that is turning. It's almost like twisting like a nipple, right? And it gets only more and more painful the more you twist it. And that's what this uptightness is going to, I feel like somebody's going from feeling uptight to slightly irritable to more irritable to defensive. And then it could possibly even escalate to aggression. I feel like somebody's being twisted, but they're not going within and consciously aware about what's getting them. It's an intensifying. It's not getting better day by day. It's getting worse, this feeling. Some of you guys are telling me, like, some of you guys could feel like you're on the verge of having a fucking panic attack. Some of you guys need to be really mindful about how you're managing your lives and not overwhelming yourself with your whole to-do list. Really listening to yourself, what your capacity is, no different than the polaring, which is to push yourself to what you know, or what you know and want to see your capacity to be. It's like there's an ebb and flow, and yeah, some of you guys aren't prioritizing well. So you might be putting a lot of time and attention into things that you want and not what you need, or people you are gravitated to and not people who need you most right now. There is a distracted energy as well. Okay, this is a lot. And it's just because I haven't channeled in like 2 days. Like, my life's different now. Like, I channel every day. I pray every day, not just for myself and others. You know, like, it's my life's different now. It's different now. Tried to tell him. All right. Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, thank you for rising me up out of my bed this morning, and thank you for connecting me with the collective every day. Right now, please allow me to communicate clearly with the collective all the messages that are in our greatest good, surrounding our material abundance, sustenance, the relationships closest to us, our personal ascension and development, and any other messages that you deem worthy at this time. Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, for everything you do for me and the collective on a regular. All the healing energy, the support, the love, the guidance, and the protection. We are nothing without it, and we are nothing without you. So glory be to the Most High, forever and ever. Amen. Those flipped over, but I just want this one. I said those flipped over, and I just want this one. It was the King of Cups. But I'm the King of Cups. I realized that. You know how I kept pulling the King of Cups? It was because I'm the King of Cups. I struggle with communicating my emotions. I can be manipulative, knowing that if I just don't talk about myself and what's really going on in my life, that other people will, I am the fucking, I need to get it together, to a certain degree. Anyways, we got the Queen of Swords in reverse. It looks like there's some kind of tug of war that's coming to an end. I think it was a power struggle you were having with somebody. So this could be like it's not a white flag, because I don't feel like it was a fight. It's 555 energy. So I don't think it was a conflict. I think it was a competition, and I think it was a power struggle in some way. my idea makes more sense. No, my idea. Let's invest in what I'm doing. No, let's invest in mine. Let's go where I want to go. No, let's go where I want to go. It was that kind of energy. I don't feel like a fight. Look how far away from each other, and their hands are on the rope, not on each other. The aggression is towards whatever this rope is that you guys are tugging. Oh, it's a tug of war essentially. You guys are coming out of it. I think there's this energy of meeting in the middle, so there's no need to pull somebody on either side. There, if the objective now becomes the middle ground. Do you get what I'm saying? So if the game is for each person to bring the rope closest to their end, the objective changes when they have to get it to the middle. The whole objective changes. The energy, the attitude between the two of them. There's a restrictive energy, a waste of energy. Oh, this could have been two women that were fighting over a man. Because now, this, look at, we've got the, is that the King of Cups? Shit, that's why I don't, no, it's the Queen of Cups. This deck confuses me. Because all it puts is these crowns, right? It's the Law of Attraction deck. So I don't know if it's the Queen or the King. It doesn't even matter. Pictures are so graphic. It looks like it could have been two. Oh, wow. Look at this dynamic playing out. I feel like there was two women that were fighting over a man, and then another man comes and runs this man away. This is such a weird dynamic. Huh. What are you guys going through? All I know is if that resonates and that's something that applies to somebody here, this ends. This ends. And this person who was planning to court one of these people isn't courting any of them because both of them have dropped him and is now actually getting run away by some other man here. Oh, for some of you, this masculine knocks on a feminine's door and the feminine doesn't answer. It's another man. Oh, I guess I have to do the love reading because all the romantic drama is coming in now. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's what I got from that. I guess he didn't expect whoever that was. This could be somebody's father, brother. This could be another romantic partner. There could have been a masculine who was cheating. These two women end up, like, playing this masculine by... So one of them invites this masculine over and the other one's there. I don't know what happens. All I know is he ends up running away. Like, he doesn't want anything. He knows he's gotten punked. These two feminine might be punking this masculine who was really essentially initially trying to punk them first. And I'll be really honest, like, I mean, yeah, I guess. But just leave it there. Like, be done now. Move about your life. You know what I mean? Somebody still needs the strength to be able to communicate themselves, how they truly feel, what's going on. Somebody's been sitting on a lot of information. Remember how I did the update saying I'm sitting on a bunch of content? I feel like somebody's sitting on a bunch of information that they feel they need to be strong enough to communicate. This has been coming in for months. And this would really trigger me, and I couldn't understand why. It's because I struggle with my own ability to be able to communicate deep feelings. And nobody ever guesses that because of how emotional I am. And how, you know, outspoken I am. It's all a fucking facade. Because there's a bunch of real deep shit. And how soft my heart really is. And how, like, precious I really am. Like, I wouldn't have, I don't. See, it's hard for me to even see how I'm struggling to talk. This is the divine being like, yeah. Yeah. Tell him. Some of you guys really wouldn't imagine it. But I identified to this energy. This was a message the divine was also trying to give to me. And that's why it was triggering me. But I was projecting it out at like, yo, man, this person needs to just say what they need to say and go about our business so they don't keep showing up in the cards. Meanwhile, the divine's like, what about you? What about you? I'm like, what about me? I'm like, what the fuck about me? Then we have the Nine of Wands. That's some kind of determination. I love this card. The way this lion's looking, it's so funny to me. I don't know why. It's beautiful, funny, sweet, all at the same time. It's just like... this little fucker. Um, the Five of Pentacles and the Two of fucking Cups. Somebody has never, and this, whether this is romantically or, because for some of you, I'm getting this weird scene in the workplace. Regardless of where this takes place, there's this energy of somebody being really affected by you. And it's somebody who's quite powerful, like the Lion. I'm seeing this as you, collective. But regardless, you can be any one of these dynamics. You could be the person who, you could be the Lion who feels tamed by somebody in the sense of their strength and their impact on you. Somebody is very, because I feel like somebody went through this like emotional roller coaster about how you impact them and how you make them feel. Like at first they were kind of like intrigued by it, excited by it, then they were kind of resentful about it. Like somebody really, and I don't think you have any idea of how impacted somebody is by you. This, if this is in the workplace, I feel like for some of you, it could either be a coworker or a boss. And it's so funny because and this is where you might be challenged. The skills and parts of your personality that you use in the workplace, you don't use in your personal life, especially romantically. For some of you in the workplace, there's this strength that you exude that makes you very attractive to people. So I feel like somebody, this could have been you. I don't know what you were doing in the workplace. Some of you guys are in a leadership position, or you present, or maybe when you have team meetings, like you're a high achiever. There's something it's not intimidating, but somebody feels affected by you when they feel like they are usually the one who has that effect on other people. Like somebody might know, the Lion might know, like people get affected by me because of their personality or how they move. They give off a leadership energy, but you, collective, came in and they had that, you had that effect on them. Somebody feels captivated by you, I heard. Some of you, it could have been some kind of performance you did. If it's not in the like workplace, it was like some kind of performance. You displayed yourself somehow and it captured the heart of somebody. They see you in a way they don't typically see other people. There's a part of you that's reflected back in them. So there's a really beautiful part of them that they see within you, and it's beautiful. Like they get to see how beautiful they really are through you because of something you mirror to this person that's very beautiful. Like I don't know how many more times I have to say beautiful. The yin and the yang, like this symbol haunts me. I probably bought I bought this deck because of that. It's not even my favorite deck, but I'm like, a yin and the yang, add it to cart. Like such a little basic. All right. I don't even really like how these shuffle. Anyways, this is the Empress. Ooh, amazing. That's why I kept saying you guys are so beautiful. And then the Six of Swords in reverse. The King of Pentacles in reverse. The Ten of Wands. Somebody's celebrating, somebody's signing official papers. I know somebody that applies to. That's crazy, and she has like long dark hair like that. Angel gang. I ain't trying to call her out on anything, but she's here. She's part of our tribe, and I literally just thought of her. Anyways, some of you guys are signing documents. You're celebrating the official end of something. I want to know why the King of Pentacles and the Six of Swords is in reverse. Why is the King of Pentacles in reverse? The Six of Wands in reverse, lack of victory. Okay, so this person isn't actually financially abundant or stable. This is somebody getting a lot of karma, possibly. But what's the Six of Swords in reverse? The Three of Swords upright. Wow. This is a blockage. I mean, there looks like two blockages here. Somebody's trying to approach this Empress. It's just blockage after blockage. Oh, it's about that energy. Somebody collective. Some of these blockages, Saturnian energy, are actually blessings. That's what I meant about the divine and Jupiter, Saturn work together. Divine and demonic energy work together. Divine is using your dark, deepest rooted pains. The pains, there's pain, and it's being used to keep someone who needs to stay away from you away from you. I don't know how to explain this. If it's making sense, I'm going to have to watch this back, because this is newer. It's a deeper understanding of what we've already been talking about, but I'm like, I'm trying to break that glass wall and understand more and more, and I feel like the divine's trying to get me to understand how they work together, because I need to come out of this whole fighting thing. They don't fight. It's like they're saying it's a misrepresentation of how it works. It's like an agreement. There's no need for them to fight because they're in agreement. They have their own territories. They have their own. And this is how they connect, and this is the relationship between the two. And ironically enough, the Two of Cups, which speaks about relationships, is what this picture's on. It's getting me to question some of the downloads. It's like, Divine's like, don't do that. They told me certain things so I would understand certain things a certain way. Don't let my ego get involved. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just talking out loud. I feel like I've been offline. I feel like I was on, like, vacation, even though it was the worst vacation. Because I'm exhausted, I'm tired, and I feel like I need another one. But I was off. And I'm just overwhelmed with the information a little bit. But it's good to be back online. Back at it, collective. Okay, we're going to pull from these runes. I'm excited to do some content in the new place. You guys are going to love it. And I have my friend Inji. She's an amazing, brilliant artist, painter in Toronto. And she gave me 2 original pieces. And I already put them up on my walls. It's like, it's amazing. But anyways, you guys will love it. Some of you guys are moving too. Or some of you guys are going to move. Some of you guys were struggling to move. And it was, I'm not going to go into that because I already did in a video about how that was a whole karmic lesson. Anyways, courage, justice, the scales, balance, karma, trusting this. Tiwaz. I want to read these. Tiwaz. Terror is a certain token. It keeps its truth well with noble men. It is always on its journey over the cloud of night, never wandering. Tiwaz opens a new cycle on the path of spiritual initiation. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling that. Congratulations, collective. It represents justice, responsibility, but also sacrifice. In order to achieve the success you desire, sacrifice is necessary. It can be hard work, financial investments, or significant stress. Tiwaz brings the strength to see things rightly and justly to win your case if you are in your right mind and keep your word with honor. It reminds you to make and keep commitments in your professional and private life. These notions in your relationships with others are essential. And then sets intentions, waxing moon. This is a good time to adjust and improve the culture of your ideas and intentions. Prepare for the realization of these through your actions, creativity, and commitments. Key words: adjustment, revision, and patience. I feel like this has to do, these significant relationships are so, like, important right now in the manifestation process. And some of you guys are struggling more with it than others, depending on how long and how deep you were in solitary or in hermit mode, like alone. Some of you guys are really struggling with this. It's these intentions have to include these significant relationships. This adjustment could also have to do with your outlook on significant relationships or on a particular person. There's something that has to be adjusted surrounding these relationships closest to you, but you can't project this onto somebody else. You have to identify what the divine is telling you when they say there needs to be adjustments. Not be like, adjustments with them, right? Yeah, no. You talking about them? Oh, I'll tell them the adjustments they need to make, right? Yeah, that's also me. It's been a tough time the last quarter. Release and let go of what? Refine and improve. Ancestral heritage and possessions. And then the full moon celebration. Heritage and possessions, I feel like you're going to acquire something, because underneath it is the full moon. It's celebration. You're going to, I heard your ancestors have a gift for you. Something they all agreed that you should have. So there's multiple ancestors that have agreed that you should manifest something. It's ancestral abundance. But they determine who should inherit it based on the paths that we've picked and the decisions that we've made about how we want to live here and what we believe. So there's something really beautiful that your ancestors are going to gift you that will manifest here in the 3D. It very well could have been that Page of Pentacles energy. That is really a reflection. It's a very much needed tool that you're going to need because of the journey you are on, but it's also a reflection of how far you've come and the oaths that you've taken. There's a heavy weight to it. I want to see if we can get any idea about what's this ancestral gift. What do the ancestors have for the collective? It's the Four of Wands, but in reverse. Some of you guys could have lost a home or lost your stability or felt like you had something from your ancestors that should have been passed down to you taken away from you. Your ancestors. That's what I mean. Divine energy use darkness, like theft, like misrepresentation, like this devil energy, darkness, to take something away from you that you thought was so great, but divine energy knew that you deserve better and could have better, had to take this away in order for you to manifest better for yourself, to make room for what really should be there, or to find where you really do belong. It was a tower moment. Anyways, I feel like I'm mumbling now. Okay, I'm gonna go. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys later. And until the next time I see you, keep letting your inner angels live. Mwah.